Good morning. My name is Gavin Hovey, and today I'm going to be talking about how to help the pollutants. Help with pollution. Great. Okay. Time to restart. Good morning. My name is Gavin Hovey, and today I'm going to be talking about how to help with the pollution. This is my bibliography. I use a lot of organization resources. My goal today is to inform everybody on the different types of pollutions, how can we help, and also my goal is to hopefully get you out of your chair, out of bed, or whatever, and help our planet out with all the pollutions that we do produce as humans. My agenda is going to be talking about light pollution, air pollution, soil pollution, water pollution, and even sound pollution. First off, we are going to be starting with light pollution. Imagine living about 100 years ago. Now look up at the sky. Notice how there are millions of stars above you. That is amazing and beautiful. Can you see that today? No, you can't. For example, Big Rapids. How much would I bet 100 years ago you could easily see millions and millions and millions of stars, or even the Milky Way, for example? You can't anymore. And it's from light pollution. Humans produce so much light. It is an enormous amount of light that we can't even comprehend. It's wild. It's so weird. There is scientific evidence on that suggests that artificial light at night has a negative and even a deadly effect on many creatures, including amphibians, birds, mammals, insects, plants, when it comes to the cycle of rest and reproduction. So, the blue lights that we produce and also the orange lights cause and affect different things. So blue light affects humans more, not necessarily more, but we see it more of a drastic change, especially within our health. Blue light is produced by the sun, and when we constantly stare at our screens, because you don't see a bird staring at a screen or a cat or whatever staring at a screen, it tells our brains that it's daytime, and so our sleep is constantly interrupted. So that affects us immensely. And then birds and plants, their sleep cycles are constantly messed with, and along with their reproduction system, because they think that it's like different times. Like they are very messed up. This is a map of light pollution from the late 1950s, mid 1970s, 1997. Right here you can see how it's growing immensely. And then in 2025, it is predicted that's what the light map is going to look like. That is 5 years from now, so that's basically where we are at now. That is not okay. Look how much light that is. Inappropriate. Ways that we can combat this is using less glare light. So what I mean by less glare light is Arizona has actually started using more straight lights that are pointed towards a certain center. Also, Arizona, the state of Arizona, has started using lights lower to the ground to produce less light up in the air and more towards a more horizontal direction for humans to use more appropriately. We don't need to look up. We just need to see what's in front of us and what is below us. That is all. Air pollution is next on our list. It is the most common form of pollution. Air pollution is made by burning of fossil fuels, toxins by power plants, and artificial activities and mining operations. This is a map of the world right now of our CO2 levels. As you can tell, blue is obviously not bad, but the red is extremely awful. This is a list of the worst cities in the world. And when I mean by worst cities, I mean cities with the highest CO2 levels. I have butchered these names countless of times. I do not need to do it again. But I will list the countries though. The 3 top countries is India, China, and Pakistan. They produce the most fossil fuels, CO2 levels, and also NO2 levels at that as well. Speaking of NO2 levels, this is, these 6 images show what is happening right now. So, these 3 top images were taken last year and 2 months apart. These are the levels of the NO2. This is taken right now. This is happening in China at the moment from the coronavirus, actually. Less people are using fossil fuels and also operations that produce NO2 levels. So everything is going down. Smog is at an all-time low in China. That is amazing. Air pollution can affect not only the birds by running them out of their habitation, but also affects us, our eyes, skin, lungs, everything. What we can do to lessen the production of CO2 levels is less cars, so transportation, less of it. Less use of fireplaces, wood, stove, ovens, burning of leaves, trash, and more. Even though we love the smell of burning leaves, that is extremely toxic apparently. Avoid using gas-powered anything that produces fossil fuels, and less use of electricity. The reason why there's a question mark right there is depending on your power grid. If you are on a green, eco-friendly power grid, use your electricity, you're fine. But if you are using anything other than eco-friendly power grid, use as little as electricity as you can. What could happen? Europe has shown a great example of what could happen. They have laws put into place on how much fossil fuels can be used. This is amazing. This was taken in 2003. Next, we have soil pollution. Soil pollution is not very common, but it's still huge and drastic. This changes our agriculture, and also it affects our plant life, and that's what we use to, eat and live. But yeah, here we are, and we're constantly putting toxins in it. This is bad soil, and this is good soil. A huge effect that it has on it is the soil is not nurtured enough for a plant to grow correctly due to the amount of lead that is in it. This is actually, I'm surprised that there was a map for this. This is a map of the lead-based soil in the United States. As you can tell, it's the major cities that mainly have lead-poisoned soil. How can we clean this, and can you clean it? So it's a biodegradable thing, not biodegradable, but biological treatment can break down the substances within the soil and clean it out. Can we do that personally? I don't think so, not really. Professionals need to come out and actually do that themselves, because it is a chemical oxidization that needs to occur within the soil, and that is not safe to use if you do not know how to handle it correctly. So if you do need to clean soil, please contact the authorities. Oops, went a little too far there. Water pollution is up next. Water pollution is also one of the most common pollutions. It affects our ocean life, our drinking water, and everything like that. Now I'm going to show you an image. Would you drink that? Would you swim in that? No, you would not. I know I wouldn't, so I know you wouldn't. That is not okay. So what makes you think it's okay for these guys? That's very pixelated. What makes you think it's okay for these guys to swim in it? Look at that, they're dead. We are polluting the water like crazy. Look at this. This was a picture taken by National Geographic. Ways to clean it. Donate to companies, organizations, volunteer, clean up the oil. Your oceans nearby. How much longer will this take? We have no idea, but about 5 tons of ocean plastic per month. Next is sound pollution. Sound pollution is not very common, but it is out there, and it actually affects us. It affects birds especially. It kicks them out of their habitations. See how we keep kicking animals out of their habitations? That's not okay. Noise pollution can cause increase in anxiety, rise in blood pressure, and also trouble sleeping. Animals, increase in fear, forced out of habits, and sleep cycles are interrupted. How can we use that? Reduce it. Less use of heavy equipment, earplugs, and grow plants, grow trees that actually absorb sound. A recap: light pollution, air pollution, soil, water, and sound. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope that I have convinced you to get up and clean the earth and help get rid of these pollutions. Thank you.